Welcome, everyone. I am Sharon Karn of Sound Wellness, and these videos are, I'm so excited about these videos because they're an opportunity for you to meet some of the brilliant people who have chosen to become sound wellness practitioners. So today, I am delighted and excited to introduce you to AudreyLynn Fluet, who is one of our level 2 certified sound wellness practitioners. She's a brilliant practitioner, brilliant massage therapist, a very good friend, and I am just so excited that she is here with us. So welcome, AudreyLynn. I'm just so grateful you're here and ready to be introduced to those on the Sound Wellness page.
Thank you so much, Miss Sharon, for allowing me to be here and sharing this time with you today. Thank you so much, Miss.
This has been really a wonderful series, AudreyLynn, and it's been just so beautiful to be able to share your skills and your background and um, all of the things that you found that you have brought into your services for your clients. And for those who are joining us, welcome. AudreyLynn will also be sharing a meditation, pre-meditation, and she'll explain that when we get there at the end of our chat today. So I'm excited about that too, AudreyLynn. So, can you tell us a little more about your story and what got you into massage? Because that's your first main modality, right?
Yes, yes, it is. Well, there's a couple of genesis points along my path. The first one was when I was in grade three. And instead of listening to the teacher and following along with instruction, I was way more curious about these bumpy things on the back of my hand and why they moved when my fingers moved and what was happening in my arms. Um, just complete fascination. And then when I was in my early teens, my mom would say, "Oh, AudreyLynn, my back is sore. Can you rub my back?" Or "My feet are sore. Can you rub my feet?" And, attempting the dutiful child, I did. And then in my early 20s, my then sweetheart and I went to New Zealand, Australia, and Fiji chasing Halley's Comet. And the trip was amazing. I mean, just to see parts of the world that hopefully we can see again. Um, in any event, he had decided in Australia to do some body surfing. And the Australian coast got the better of him.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So, about 18 months after that trip, we went to Europe. And of course, Europe has all these lovely cobblestones, and every time he tripped up on a cobblestone, his back would spasm. Not a lot of fun.
No.
On returning from that trip, I here in Edmonton, where I live, they used to have a class magazine where you could take fun courses, and there was this fun massage course. It was 2 days a week and 3 months, and I thought, huh, I'll take this course to help out Honey. Some of the most intense education I have ever had within massage.
Wow.
Yeah, we had to do 12 free clients. We had to make our own massage flashcards because, I mean, this is over 30 years ago. Um, there were no flashcards, so we had to, do all the muscles and bones and all the connections and the nerves and all this stuff. So it was pretty intense. And then we had to write a paper. So this was a fun course.
Oh my goodness. I just I can't imagine putting in my head that much knowledge in such a short amount of time when I think of the number of bones, the number of muscles, the number of connections, the number of nerves. Oh my gosh, I see what you mean by intense.
Yeah, yeah. And then about a year and a half after that course, I decided I wanted to go to a real massage school, not this little community college, which is now considered a university. In any event, I located a school in Red Deer, and I went there. And the first 8, 9 months of the course, I knew more than everybody else. And it was very frustrating because I thought, you're going to teach me more. Oh, okay. Okay. So I get through that program. And then in 2012, the insurance industry decided that we here in Alberta, since we have no college and no regulating body, that they would regulate us. And they demanded that we all have 2,200 hours of original education. So
Oh,
all the time at the table, all that practice meant nothing to them. And at first, they looked at my education and they says, "Oh yes, we love you. Carry on bravely." And 6 months into the program, they said, "Oh no, we don't love you so much anymore, and you have 2 months in order to get this designation."
oh my goodness. So that's a
Oh,
quick course.
yeah, no. um, I did get an exemption. And in that time period, I found a school here in Edmonton, M.H. Vickers, and they had put together a program specifically for people like me who had many years at the table, but didn't have the requisite hours.
Mm.
So that was a 9 month course, doing 2 years of book work in that period of time. So that was at the same level of intensity as my initial education.
Oh my.
Yeah.
So your knowledge after all this training, your knowledge of the human body is well founded.
Yes and no. Actually, my curiosity, when we go to school, um, and I found this for all types of education, sound wellness being the caveat in there. In any event, in traditional education, they teach us to attest as
Ah,
opposed to teaching us to have proficiency as a skill. Now, maybe things have changed in the time that I've been away from traditional schooling. Can't say. But what I do know is that when there's been things happen in my body or things happen within my clients' bodies that I don't understand, I go back to the charts and I go back to the anatomy books and I research because I'm really curious. And if I can recreate that sensation in my own body, then I have a better opportunity of figuring out for my client the next time I see them.
I have a similar sense of curiosity, Audrey, and I understand that. And how beautiful it is because your mission is service.
Yes.
And that curiosity helps you create even a bigger, wider, more deeper, effective service for your clients.
I hope so. I hope so.
Mm.
That is my desire.
Hmm. Oh, I'm sure that happens. I know that happens. I know you. Um, have there been people along the way besides um, your first you mentioned going with your with a close connection to the first trip and following Haley's comet. Have there been other people who inspired you along the way?
Nothing specific, and yet the generality is my clients, is the curiosity of how their bodies work. How I view my clients is, even though I have worked with some of these people for 7, 8 years now, I still consider them brand new to my table.
Hmm.
Tell me what is going on with your life now, because it could be a day or weeks or months in between our last visit, and they've lived life.
Hmm.
They've had falls and emotions that have been high and low and stressors or peace and calm. Excuse me, and that changes their physiology. So I attempt to bring that level of, I'm a brand new therapist. Tell me what's going on with you to the table, because in my opinion, if I come with, I've had 30 plus years of experience, I know it all, I've missed the point and I'm no longer serving them, I'm serving myself. So my clients have taught me. My curiosity has taught me. And it drives me forward with every ache and pain. It's, what is this? What is that? What was the genesis? What are the roots of these things? And indefinitely, it's because I ate something wrong. I haven't been doing enough movement. Water? What's water? Um, Sleep? Oh, that's for the weak, right? I mean, just all of these things which come back to my own personal responsibility.
Thank you so much. I love that response, AudreyLynn, because I hadn't realized for myself when I think about this question is that it's the people who come to me who are great teachers and who inspire me too, and I love that. Another question is coming to my mind here, and I would love to hear your perspective on this with your background in all the modalities you have, a lifetime in massage, and also the new things you're doing. Emotions stuck in the body. What is your could you talk about this? And I know that emotional energy gets stuck in the body. How does this show up in massage? And have you found combinations of things to help people with that, or even educate clients with that? Because we talk about the physical things, but a lot of the physical things are caused by emotions, I believe. But I would love to hear your perspective from the that basis of knowledge that you have with showing up in the body.
Thank you for that. That's really an awesome question. Um, it has taken me a long time to recognize that the sensations. Now, I'm very kinesthetic. When I feel it, I know it's real. And working in massage, frequently I would start to feel an emotion, or I'd have a hot flash, or at the end of my shift, it would be like, oh my God, I got hit with a brick. What happened? And uh, no clear indication. I thought, okay, well, I'm myself. It's all on me. And slowly over time, and paying attention as I'm working on a client, um, I recognize that here's a thought. It wasn't there before. It's familiar, but this is not mine.
Ah,
And as I'm this traditionally, historically, more often than not, shows up in people's backs.
oh,
It does
interesting.
show up in other places, but the back is a very large space. Our main support, our ribs are there for protection of the lungs and heart, and so there. I mean, there's just a lot going on there. Um, I can share with you one recent client. I was just working on her, and there was no talking, and all of a sudden, I had this intense fear that there was going to be a nuclear war. This is not on my radar. I'm not I'm barely in the news, so why would this even be coming up? And later, as I was driving home, I realized, oh, this was hers. This was not mine. And so, and you asked about the communication with clients about this stuff. Um, that's really challenging
Mm-hmm.
because in the past, when I have brought up to a client of, hey, I'm feeling this thing, or have you thought of XYZ? The energetic response is, how did you know that?
Ah.
Okay, this is woo woo. I can't trust it. So, if the opportunity does arise, I do bring it up, and it's usually very organic within the conversation. However, when the client is quiet, I'm quiet. Um, so then if stuff comes up, then there's no opportunity for dialogue or for release. So how I deal with that stuff is still quite poorly. Usually come home and have an Epsom salt bath. I have a variety of energy tools that I use to bring myself back into balance. It's an ongoing process because this stuff, my excuse me, my theory is the reason why I feel it is that it's so close to alignment with what is already within me, that is my own fears, my own personal issues. Otherwise, it wouldn't stick.
Mm, mm. Thank you for sharing that so beautifully and so vulnerably, AudreyLynn. And I found very similar things working with clients. And I guess I'm luckier than you with the physical modality, AudreyLynn, with working with a more energetic modality that I can start entering into that conversation about when being highly sensitive myself also. When I sense something going on, I can communicate, well, I'm sensing this might be going on. Can you tell me a little more about this? And people are, because it's the sound wellness, it has a large basis in science, and it has as much of a basis in intuition and mysticism. It's tens of thousands of years old, this modality, and the reality of emotions getting stuck in the body is, I really feel we need to educate people somehow that this is, it is a reality, that emotions get planted into the body, and modalities including massage therapy loosen them up. So do you find that when you're loosening up the areas of the body where this is in a client, there's a resonance within you that you've been sharing? Is there a release from the client of that energy, that emotional energy, do you feel? Um or is it
What?
something? Sorry, go ahead.
No, I cut you off.
Well, I was just, the words are still figuring out what they are.
Okay,
Because
okay.
this is such an interesting question to me because it's such a reality in my own practice.
Um, my apologies. Things shifted there pretty hard. So could you rephrase?
Mm, mm. Um, it's the emotional energy that's stuck in the body is a reality, and I believe. Do you find when you? I probably had too many questions in there, so maybe I'll just do one question, AudreyLynn. Do you find that the emotional energy that's within a client's body is released as you're working on them?
Yes. And the
Okay,
reason why I say that is that they come uptight like this,
that's
and
me.
and then by the end of the session, every now and again I have to, like, I'm leaving the room. If you're not off the table in 10 minutes, I'm coming in. Um, and just that whole sense of well, they've also told me I just feel so much more calm.
Mm-hmm.
I can breathe.
Mm-hmm.
The sky's not falling.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I would say that there is an emotional release. I wanted to put a caveat to what I said before about sensing the energy and not being able to talk about it. If my client has come to me for cranial sacral, which is a diametrically different modality that um, I do deep tissue massage therapeutic relaxation, which is, my definition is, I'm telling your body you're going to let go.
Oh, I love that definition, AudreyLynn. It's perfect.
Thank you. Whereas with cranial sacral is, let's have a conversation. Oh, there's this thing here. What is this thing? Is it hot? Is it cold? Is it tingly? Is it buzzy? Is it calm? Trying to allow the client to come into first level sensation,
Mm,
into that present moment, as opposed to just, I'm in my head. What should I be doing? I don't know. But to come in and to feel what they're feeling. And I think many years ago, when I was taking my level 3 cranial, I went to Florida for that training, and I shared a hotel room with another participant. And she said something that I found to be very profound, is that our clients come to us so that they can feel.
that is, it is profound. My goodness.
Yeah.
Mm,
I take that as a almost a sacred duty, that this space that we have made a contract about is wholly, completely for you, my client.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you have to share and to hold, as long as it doesn't cross those personal boundaries of uh, what we do intimately and, self-harm, those sorts of things. This is the space for the client to be who they are.
Which is such a gift, such a gift. We rarely experience those spaces, AudreyLynn.
True enough.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Can you tell me more about some of the modalities? Because you've mentioned, of course, the deep tissue massage and the cranial therapy, cranial sacral. And I'd love to hear more about some of the other modalities that you're integrating into your practice or that clients can choose from.
Well, the massage, um, and so my definition with the deep tissue is, um, not that I'm going to immediately go into the person's muscles and go as deep as I can. It is
Mm.
very much so a thing on definition. What you may consider to be deep tissue, I may consider to be, wow, I'm just barely touching your skin.
Ah, okay.
So to 10, 10's too much, one's hardly anything. And then getting their feedback, and is that enough? Is that okay for right now? And receiving that feedback. And every now and again, I will have a really unique client who I can have one type of pressure in one area of their body, but no way could I use that same type of pressure in another.
Hmm.
So to be open to that conversation with my client, and it's really interesting, people seem to need permission. Sometimes when I'm working into someone's back, especially into the upper shoulders, because that's where a lot of people hold tension, that
Yes.
that upper chest breathing and that anxiety and whatnot. I'll check in again. How is this? And oh, it's okay. I can work through it. And I will lighten up and let them know that this is not about um, going hard to get it done. Let's do this like an onion, a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time. And it's not a little bit this session or a little bit the next session. It's what can you, what is appropriate for you today? Because I view going in too hard, too fast as violence, and I really attempt to stick away from violence.
Hmm.
So within that definition of deep tissue to relaxation is a really big range. And it's really personalized to what the client's looking for. Likewise with therapeutic work, so injury work. Again, a person may come across my table who I may have the sense that I really need to get into this tissue and work with it, and they can't tolerate it.
Hmm. Hmm.
So it's again definitional. And every now and again, there's a client who can work through the pain and with breath. And um, I get people to move as we're working, depending on the area of the body. So the traditional massage, I work with cranial sacral. I work with the sound wellness, and how I use that modality is with the tuning forks, because the tuning forks tend to be more relatable to people. I will ask them or tell them I work with tuning forks in massage. Have you ever heard of this before? And rarely they'll say yes, but tell me anyway. And so I'll start with the perfect fifth and what its benefits are, and how the process goes. And then I will share with them the 111, the 128, and the 64 hertz. And I will sing each fork and put it on to like their hand or forearm so that they can get a sense of which fork feels like what. And then I'll ask for their input, as in, which one of these forks feels yummy, feels like, I want more of that sensation. And then that's the fork that we'll use for that session. Um, you, I would really prefer an hour and a half to be doing this kind of work with clients, but they don't know before they come that what's going to happen, and so it's usually just the one fork, and I will use the traditional massage technique, and everywhere that I find tension that I'm going to have to add more resistance to, I will sing the fork along that line. And then when I come back with the traditional massage stroke, the tissue is melted. It's just so easy. And the clients get up off the table like a puddle. It's very satisfying.
That's a fascinating comment. Thank you for that, AudreyLynn. I have been had the honor of you using the tuning forks on me, and I can say I felt that melt. You know exactly where to put it, and it's just so exquisite. And so that has made the physical part of physical massage easier for those
Yes,
clients who choose to use the tuning forks. Oh,
yes,
fascinating.
yes. Um, with the cranial sacral, even though the session may be a traditional massage session, I still use the very end technique of holding the head, the cranial base, and releasing those neck muscles for greater and deeper relaxation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Are there other modalities that you integrate into your practice? Those mostly massage in different forms in the craniosacral and the sound.
I do. Some of my greatest teachers when it comes to technique are other therapists, or being on another therapist's table and going, oh, this is how they did it. Huh. And then giving massage to a client that seems to just come through of, oh, you remember when you got this? Now's the time to use it. So to give those other techniques a specific name, I can't. They're just stuff that come through and make sense for that client in that moment.
Hmm. Hmm. Oh, that's so fascinating. Thank you for sharing that. And I love I'm grateful how you're finding the tuning forks helpful. There's
Mm.
one special session you do on the lymph
Oh,
system.
yes,
Can
yes,
you talk about that too? Because this one is a really interesting and very effective protocol for the lymph.
yes, yes. The lymphatic massage. I use the 32 hertz fork with that one. Um, and instead of the traditional massage strokes where hands are on the body with uh, lymphatic drainage, which is the way in which it's said, I use the tuning fork and I will work in the same exact areas. Now, with lymphatic drainage, they only have the client in one position, so face up, and they pull everything from back to front. I do the whole body as though it were massage. And I take the fork and I lightly glide it across the body, um, attempting not to touch the body as much as possible, um, but with that same intent of gently moving the fluids to bring them to the lymphatic ducts and into the main lymphatic reservoirs to be eliminated. Again, another very profoundly relaxing um, uh, modality. Lost the word.
Mm-hmm. And I know I've experienced this too, and it also effectively the lymph doesn't have a pump like the heart creates a pump for the circulatory system. Movement is a strong stimulator for the lymph system.
Yes.
However, for those who tend to have a slow lymphatic some lymphatic system, then this can really help move and need lots of water and a close bathroom right after. I can tell you, it's very effective.
Yes, yes, very much so. The other thing for folks to keep in mind with lymphatic work is their nutrition, pre-lymphatic work and post, because things like dairy, coffee, wheat can clog up our lymphatic system. So if we can give those items or anything that causes us an allergy response, if we can give those items a bit of a break before we go in for lymphatic work, the greater the benefit is going to be.
That's really good to know. Thank you. Whereabouts are you located? You mentioned Edmonton, so are you in specific clinics or do you have online services? All of those?
I'm a multi-purpose practitioner, let me tell you. Uh, 3 days a week, I work in a downtown Edmonton location called New Balance Chiropractic. I'm there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Mondays, I am out in Stony Plain and I work out of a friend's business there. And then I also do in-home work, as in my client's home, as well as in my own home. So it, it really depends on what the client wants. I am also capable of doing distance healing work. Um, I really look forward to the opportunity of doing more of that. That's really satisfying um, work. It's surprisingly how distance work can be just as taxing as physical in-person work.
Yes, the energetic part of it, and I found personally for myself too, AudreyLynn, I've been in awe of the effectiveness of things that I didn't think would work in the online space. However, they are incredibly effective.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
I've been blessed to be able to help a girlfriend or two who've had migraine and use the perfect fifth and use my own body as surrogate for them. And then to check in later and, keeping track of the time and whatnot and come to realize, oh yeah, my migraine started to ease up about 5 minutes after that. Hmm, happy coincidence. I'll take it.
No kidding. Migraines are challenging, so what a gift.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Oh, that's remarkable. Um, And for those listening and for those who find the recording for this, to get a hold of AudreyLynn, there's two ways in the post. One of them is her Facebook page, AudreyLynn's Massage. So click on that and like that page so you can go back there, save the access to that page. Also, her email is in the post to this video. So check in the post above or below the video so you can get a hold of her. Is there anything else you want to share, AudreyLynn, before we go on to the pre-meditation and your
Um, Not at this time. Not at this time, but thank you.
wow. I'm just so grateful that you have such spectacular and powerful services to bring to your clients and the community.
Thank you so much, Miss Sharon.
I really believe that there's an oncoming tsunami of challenges we have with the level of stress that so many people have been under, and
Yes.
that we really that's another reason why these videos are being created so that people can find you and help provide those solutions to reduce those levels of stress and challenge that people are experiencing. So
Hmm.
so thank you for the work you do and the service you offer.
You're welcome.
I'm very excited to hear about premeditation and what it is. I've never heard of premeditation before, AudreyLynn.
Actually, that just came to me today.
Oh, I
Uh,
love it.
the practice is actually a modality I learned many years ago. It's called healing from the core, and the concept is to be in our own space, our own bones. And why premeditation came up was so oftentimes when I've experienced meditation, whether it be in person or online, the facilitator says, "Okay, we're going to do the meditation now. I'm going to ring the bell, and here we go." And I need more time to get into that space because I might have had too much coffee or I might have had a jangling discussion with somebody or I might have just gotten off of an overstimulating video and I'm nowhere close to being present. And so this modality is all about coming back into your own system, feeling your own bones and being present with where you are right now.
Mm.
So if you're ready, we can begin.
I'm loving this already.
So you can do this with your eyes open or closed. I'm going to close my eyes so that I am less distracted. And what I would encourage you to do is to just sit back into your pelvis and feel, where is your pelvis right now? Does it feel tipped forward? Does it feel tipped back? Just feel where your pelvis is. Are you leaning more on one side or the other? This is a curiosity and an opportunity to explore just what's going on with your pelvis. And remember to breathe. Nice, calm breath out of your belly. And as you notice where your pelvis is, give some attention to your thigh bones. What do they feel like? Are they firm and solid within your hip joints? Travel gently to your knees and just notice, what do your knees feel like? Do they feel tight? Do they feel achy? Do they feel like they need to wiggle around a little bit? And if they do, do. And release judgment. There's no right, there's no wrong. There's just this moment. And next, come into your calves and notice what they feel like. Are they hot? Are they cold? Do they feel like they're supporting your knees well? Just notice. And come into your ankles. So oftentimes we wear shoes that are less than supportive, and our ankles suffer the consequences. And just feel what your ankles feel like in this moment. And then I would invite you to come in and feel your feet. Notice your right foot. Can you feel your heel in your shoe or on the floor? Can you feel the outside edge of your foot? Can you feel the base of your toes, all the way from pinky to great toe? Notice the same thing on your left foot. Is that foot actually touching the ground? Can you feel it pressing into the floor? Or is it lightly resting just above the floor? Just be curious. Just notice. And as you sense your body, pay attention to what the texture of the surface under your feet feels like. Is it hard? Is it soft? Is it cool? Is it warm? What kind of information can the surface under your feet give to you? Now I invite you to go just a little deeper and be curious as to what the earth underneath your feet may feel like. Is it soft and loamy, or is it gravelly, compact, hard, frozen, cool, warm? Just be curious. And notice that there is a rich sea of information and energy and support for you there in the earth. And as you're able and open, willing, allow that energy to come into your feet and just soak into the pores of your skin, all the way deeply into your bones, right into the very marrow of your bones. And allow it, like a bathtub filling, to fill up your feet. And gently and easily fill into your calves. Just noticing the support, the comfort, that which is there for you. Notice your knees as they fill. and your upper legs, your quads. And as fast or as slowly, whatever your pace is, just allow this sensation to fill these structures, these places, all the way from the very center of your bones, all the way out to the farthest reaches of your aura. And as you come into your pelvis, let this energy fill and nourish your pelvis, the cradle of our energy. Let it fill your sacrum, and let it fill each and every vertebrae as we go up the spine, to your lumbar spine, into your what would be considered your mid back, low back, where your ribs are, and allow this energy to just soak into your bones and rejuvenate you. Feel the energy and the sensation come all the way up to your neck, down into your arms and your hands. Just feel what those areas feel like. Maybe you have a shoulder that's a bit achy and tight. Just notice what that feels like. What would be supportive to that area right now? Is it a color? Is it a sound? Is it a memory? Is it chocolate? And maybe offer that area what it's asking for. And as our arms and hands and shoulders fill, send your attention to your neck and your throat. And just notice, where is your neck? Where is your head in relationship to your neck? Is your head really far forward, like you're reaching to see that screen? Or are you back just a little bit, where everything's more in alignment? Just notice. Notice your jaw. Is it tight? Is it loose? What does your tongue feel like? Is it resting on the floor of your mouth? Is it rigid? Is it soft? Notice the upper palate of your mouth. What does that feel like? Is it smooth? Is it bumpy? Notice how your lips feel. Are they tense? Are they relaxed? Notice your eyes. What do your eyes feel like? Do they feel like they're about to push out your eyelids, or are they resting back? Notice your forehead. Is there any tension there? Just gently notice. Notice as the energy climbs from your neck to your mouth, to your eyes, to the very top of your head. Just allow this sensation to fill and to nourish and to nurture you. And allow the sensation to come out, pour out the top of your head like a lovely water feature as it radiates down around your body. And just notice. And let's take a couple of breaths and just really enjoy what we've discovered today. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes and come back into the room. And this might be the time to begin a traditional meditation.
Oh my goodness, AudreyLynn. That was so beautiful. There. I'm There we go. Okay. Uh, I am going to come back to this recording and do that again. What a beautiful, grounded presence it feels like. And the bottom of my feet to the top of my head is tingling and present, especially the bottom of my feet with the connection with the earth, and then bringing that all the way up and just moving the energy around the field. Oh my goodness. I don't know that I want to do another meditation. It actually having said that though, I feel that it would make the other meditation much more effective, being in that space and presence.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah.
wow. Well, I am just so honored and delighted to have spent this time with you, AudreyLynn. I just wanted to ask you if you had any last words of advice or inspiration for our audience.
Oh, I would encourage and implore that each and every one of your listeners be kind to themselves. In our day and age, we're in such a rush to get from point A to B. The stressors that we experience from moment to moment can be incredibly overwhelming. And I find that when I am kind to myself, first, I can share that with the world around me.
Oh, what a perfect energy to end our time together with. I encourage all those listening to check in with AudreyLynn, contact her, sign up for a session. You will be so grateful you did. Thank you, AudreyLynn.
Oh, you're so welcome, Miss Sharon. Thank you for your time. Have a delightful day.
You too, and all of our listeners, a beautiful, delightful day.